Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, if you're a facility executive, a plant engineer, or honestly just anyone tasked with making a modern business run smoothly, you are in exactly the right place. For decades, managing energy has been, well, an incredibly reactive process, right? We run our facilities, we run the equipment, and then, at the end of the month, we get a piece of paper telling us what it all cost. It's literally like driving a massive semi-truck down the highway completely blindfolded and only checking the rearview mirror at the end of the month to see how many mailboxes you hit. But today, we are talking about a massive shift. We're moving away from that blind, reactive approach to a modern, fully illuminated, data-driven Industry 4.0 methodology. Let's dive in.
Here is our quick roadmap for this explainer. 1. Defining modern monitoring. 2. Traditional billing versus IoT. 3. 6 critical business benefits. 4. The Pro4 IoT platform. 5. Engineering expertise. And 6. How to finally start seeing your energy. Section 1, defining modern energy monitoring. Because to really grasp the shift, we kind of need to rethink what energy actually means on the factory floor. You know, when most people hear the phrase energy monitoring, they immediately just think of electricity. But true energy monitoring is the comprehensive, real-time measurement and analysis of absolutely everything. We're talking electricity, sure, but also natural gas, water, and your generator performance. And here's a fun fact for you. Compressed air is very often the single most expensive utility in a whole plant, yet it's usually the most ignored. Crazy, right? Modern monitoring is really a core pillar of digital transformation. It lights up exactly when, exactly where, and by which specific piece of equipment every single drop of energy is being consumed. Moving to Section 2, traditional billing versus IoT. This right here is the core conflict of our explainer, the outdated status quo versus a totally new way of operating. Think about traditional monthly billing for a second. You get this late total at the very end of the month, and you have absolutely no idea why consumption spiked. You're basically just guessing, making completely blind decisions. It's just not enough if you actually want to analyze real consumption behaviors. Now compare that to the power of the Internet of Things, or IoT. Real-time IoT monitoring gives facility managers granular, shift-based visibility. You can actually spot equipment-level anomalies instantly, not 30 days later when it's too late, allowing you to take immediate, corrective action. And hey, it's not just about the sheer volume of energy you're using. It is so much about the quality of that energy. We're talking about tracking essential parameters like harmonics analysis, voltage and frequency drops, hot water and steam lines, and reactive power tracking. Honestly, tracking these is like monitoring the blood pressure of your entire facility. These parameters are absolutely crucial if you want to prevent long-term wear and tear on your expensive production equipment. Okay, Section 3. 6 critical business benefits. Let's shift gears from the technical specs and talk about your actual bottom line. So, what's the massive advantage of actually implementing a smart system like this? Well, there are 6 big ones. First, real-time data instantly identifies waste. You spot idle machines and hidden leaks the literal moment they happen. Second, early fault detection. It's an incredible early warning system, catching anomalies before they turn into some catastrophic equipment breakdown. Third, financially, it prevents penalties, stopping reactive power fines dead in their tracks by constantly monitoring your compensation systems. Fourth, it physically protects your equipment, which we'll look at in just a second. Fifth, beyond the day-to-day, this data gives you a rock-solid, data-driven foundation for future investment planning. And finally, number 6, it fully automates your ESG carbon footprint reporting, making compliance and sustainability a total breeze. Let's zoom in on that equipment protection piece for a second. Think about your highest stakes, most expensive assets, like your CNC machines and those highly sensitive, large industrial motors. Volatile energy drops, frequency deviations, poor power quality. These act as silent killers for those machines. Smart energy monitoring basically acts as a proactive, protective shield around your absolute biggest investments. But all this theory raises a pretty massive practical question. How do you actually transform millions of raw data points pinging off your facility floor every second into actionable business intelligence that your executive team can actually use today? Which brings us to Section 4, the Pro4 IoT platform. To pull all this off, you need a seriously robust centralized brain. Look, the success of any energy monitoring project is directly tied to the quality of the software running it. The Pro4 IoT platform, developed by Pro4 Technology, takes basic monitoring and elevates it into a highly advanced decision support system. It gives you live monitoring and historical analysis, all backed by advanced business intelligence or BI.
It handles all your anomaly and alarm management, plus automated reporting. But the absolute coolest part? The production energy correlation. It doesn't just say, hey, you spent $1,000 on electricity. No, it tells you exactly how much energy it took to manufacture one specific widget on line 3. That is how you truly optimize and cut costs.
All right, Section 5. Engineering and integration expertise. Because let's be real, a beautiful dashboard is totally useless if it can't actually talk to the machines on your floor. Success in these projects depends so heavily on field engineering. Pro4 Technology doesn't just hand you software, they bring a complete end-to-end solution. We're talking deep strengths in automation engineering, handling incredibly complex PLC and SCADA integration, and building robust industrial communication networks, all of which is backed by massive software R&D power. Crucially, they bridge that really difficult gap between the physical hardware, like the PLCs actually running your factory, and the top-tier IoT software. It's a fully integrated approach, combining both hardware and software control.
And finally, Section 6. Start seeing your energy. I want to share this incredibly powerful thought with you. The first step in energy management is seeing. It is a strategic necessity for businesses today to reveal hidden losses, reduce costs, increase efficiency, and actually transition to sustainable production. You absolutely cannot manage, optimize, or reduce costs for something that you are fundamentally blind to. You have to measure it to manage it. So if you're ready to take off the blindfold, analyze your facility's hidden losses, and learn exactly how the PR4 IoT platform can transform your operations, we invite you to reach out directly. For detailed information, please contact us at info@pro4technology.com. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. But before we go, I want to leave you with one last thought. If a single machine on your floor started leaking thousands of dollars in oil, you would stop production immediately to fix it. So why are you letting your energy do the exact same thing?